No, I'm trying to do a live and I'm just stalling. I'm just stalling for time because I have to wait for all the streams to get connected. Oh, hold on. Let me just rearrange something here. There we go. Oh, there it is. Now we can go. Because I have to wait for all the streams to get connected. There we go. And we have audio today. Yay! So yesterday, if you tried to tune in, you would have noticed, but I'm not on screen. You would have noticed that there was no audio yesterday. And so if you watch yesterday's live, it'll be a very funny mime session of myself for 20 minutes. Today, however, we have audio. Okay, so let's get started. I want to welcome you all. Today is day 16. Day 16 again. Yesterday was day 16, but I'm going to do day 16 again just for you with audio today. Okay, of Live for Life Satisfaction. I'm Viv, your deep life satisfaction and happiness strategist, helping you ambitious parents and success-minded individuals wake up with vibrant passion, live with purpose, and sleep with peace. So welcome today. So today we're going to talk about a very important topic, rediscovering your purpose after success, right? So, and also I'm going to give you a tool called the Deep Dive Alignment Tool, which is 5 steps to help you actually do that. So what does that even mean? Rediscovering purpose after success, right? Like, oh, didn't you think that you were going to get successful and just be happy forever? I mean, I did. But okay, in all honesty, right? So what often happens is that we can strive, us ambitious people can strive to achieve goals, and sometimes we can achieve them and we can become successful and we can check off all those boxes, right? And then still find ourselves somehow not feeling all that happy, and not feeling that fulfillment, that contentment, that deep life satisfaction, but rather feeling maybe a bit overwhelmed, a bit stressed, and maybe even just like not that happy, right? So maybe this was something in your career, like your career path or your business, or maybe you had a baby bomb. I had one of those, okay, a few years back. And when you have a baby bomb, it explodes your life, and then it kind of like redefines who you are and redefines your priorities, and even sometimes shifts your values a little bit, right? So that can also happen, right? So I want to share with you a little story about rediscovering purpose after success. And it's my story, actually. So those of you who have followed me on social media before, on my sister channel, Viv PhD, you know that for around 10 years, I was a mental health therapist, and I helped thousands with EMDR, right? Heal from trauma. And that was a beautiful, tremendous experience. And I feel so privileged to have guided so many into such a beautiful place from such a dark place, right? And I was so passionate for years. And I say was, right? Because what happened was that I realized in helping these individuals, in doing trauma therapy, right? EMDR therapy specifically, although it's a fantastic therapy and it works so well, it's so highly effective, it's miraculous. The problem is that you have to focus on the problem, right? And when you need healing, okay, maybe that's what you need to do. But for me as a therapist, right, as a former therapist, I too had to focus on the problem, right, to help the person heal. And then my life became focusing on a lot of problems and a lot of people's problems and a lot of trauma, dark places, right? So I asked myself, what do I want? And this is the question that you need to ask yourself. What do you really want out of life, right? This is the question. What do you really want out of life? And I had this defining moment. I kept kind of asking myself, like, well, what do I want? Because I've always been pursuing my dreams, right? I never let anything stop me, pursuing my dreams, which is why I ended up with that career. But I realized what I want is to be really happy. I want to, and I don't want to focus on trauma. I want to focus on thriving. I don't want to focus on what's wrong. I want to focus on what's right, you know? So I changed my life and my practice and my career and everything, right? To focus on what was right, to focus on how I can build vitality, energy, thriving, more happiness, more joy, deep relaxation, being present in the moment, enjoying my day, enjoying the things I do, right? And this is what I teach, and this is what I do now for a living as well. So the question is, as I've said before, is what do you really want? And so I'm going to invite you now to do a little process. If you want this process in writing, by the way, just drop deep dive in the comments or send me a DM. I love to hear from you, okay? So we're going to do the deep dive alignment 5-step process to help you really rediscover that purpose after you've been successful, right? Because as I mentioned, you can live that life of success and still feel empty, because we change as we get older, as we navigate through life, and what we value sometimes changes, but especially what we want changes, right? And so the first step is to kind of clarify our desires. So this is very useful, especially if you're in that place where I don't know what I really want. I don't know what I really want, right? It's very common. Sometimes you just might be in a bad state, right? If you're in a bad state, then what you want might be not really what you want or what you need. In any case, get a pen and paper and some nice music out, and just spend about 5 minutes. You can pause the video or you can rewatch it later. Well, it's not a video, it's live, but later there'll be a replay. So you can come back and watch the video, okay? And then pause it. And then write down just your desires, and use this as a brainstorm. Perfectionism out the window. Remember, perfection is the enemy of success, okay? Because as Tony Robbins said, perfection is the lowest standard, because it means it's not real. You can't achieve it, so you actually get nothing done if that is your standard. It is the standard of doing nothing. So don't let that be your standard. Have an outstanding standard, a better standard, higher standard. So just write down, brainstorm, whatever comes to your mind. What are your desires? What do you want out of life? Maybe it's a new car. Maybe it's a nicer house. Maybe it's more time with your significant other. Maybe it's a better relationship with your child, right? So write down what you want and let that go. Let that just flow, okay? And then the second step is what I call deep dive, okay? And this is where you're gonna go into the reasons of why you want those things that you just wrote down. And we're gonna get a bit deeper on this, okay? So, hold on a second. So I actually pulled up an example because people get confused with this. So I'll give you an example. So for example, if you wrote, I want to be financially independent, you would then ask yourself why. And I'm going to get you to go 5 levels deep with this one. So you're going to ask yourself why 5 times and write down the answer for each of your desires, for each of your wants, okay? So the example is, I want to be financially independent. Why do you want that? Because I want more freedom in my life. Well, why do you want that? Because I want to have time to pursue what I love. Okay, well, why do you want that? Number 3, because I want to feel fulfilled and not trapped in a job or in my business. You can feel sometimes trapped if you're not managing it right. Why do you want that? Number 4, because I want my children to see me following my passion. Okay, and why do you want that? Number 5, because I want to leave a legacy of pursuing true happiness. Okay, that sounds nice, right? And who knows what your reasons are? They're your reasons and they're very important, okay? So do step 2, go 5 levels deep on the reason why you've written down your desires, your wants. And then number 3 is a deep dive reflection. So this is where you're gonna take your favorite color pen, like maybe if you wrote with blue, then you take red, or you can just use the same pen, it doesn't matter. And just circle the themes, okay? The themes that you see coming up, for example, maybe you might circle passion, freedom, love, independence, things like that, to kind of start to see, oh, okay, these are the things that I'm valuing. These are the themes that I'm wanting. These are the deep core things that I'm yearning for, okay? And from there, we're gonna do step number 4, which is align the deep dive. So is aligning it with your values, because as you're reflecting on these things that you really want and why you really want them, your values are kind of emerging, okay? So what you're going to do now is a purpose statement, and you can do more than one. After all, we have 5 core domains in life. So that is spiritual, familial, social, physical, financial, right? So it doesn't mean you have to have 5 purpose statements. You can have 1 or 2 or 3 or 10. I would keep it, less than 10. Okay, for sure. But have a few or 1 and write down the purpose and why. Okay, so this is based on, those sort of surface desires and the whys. Now write down what you really want, okay? And you can follow the phrase, my purpose is to, core theme that you gathered from circling, because it allows me to, and then the deeper reason, okay? So again, that's my purpose is to, because it allows me to, okay? It's okay if you make a variation, whatever speaks to you or resonates with you, okay? And then the 5th step, this is the most important. So writing it down is going to, gear your mind towards where it needs to go and make sure that you're on the right track. And we talked about reticular activating system before. So it's part of your brain that tells your mind where to pay attention. And so if you train it to pay attention to these things, even just writing it down is telling your reticular activating system, okay, I want to pay attention to things that are, if your goal is like, I want a closer relationship with my significant other, your reticular activating system is going to start paying attention more to, how can I get that? Should I be more present? Should I make more quality time? Should I read one of the Gottman's books, or enroll in this course, So writing it down is very important. However, number 5 is taking action. So you're going to align with action. So I want you to write down 2 or 3 steps for each of your results that you want. And things that you can do this week, even better today, okay? If you have too many, don't be overwhelmed. You can space it out, schedule it, put it in your planner, in your calendar. But I'm going to go pick up that relationship book, or I'm going to sign up for that course, or I'm going to call so-and-so and have a heart-to-heart, or I'm going to schedule a date, or I'm going to have a fun family weekend or family day, or whatever. I'm going to get a business coach to scale me to the next level. Whatever it is that your goal is, something that relates to it that can get you to the next level, okay? So that is the deep dive alignment in 5 steps. If you want a written version, please drop in the comments deep dive. As always, I love to hear from you. So share your experience in the comments. You can also feel free to DM me and message me if you have any questions, or if you want the deep dive alignment in writing, okay? And if you got value out of today's session, please show some love, share, like, follow, subscribe, ring that bell, because it helps get you notified, right, when we go live, and also of any new content that might be fun for you to watch, okay? So I really appreciate your support and coming out here today. So remember, wake with passion, live with purpose, and sleep with peace. Take good care of you and your loved ones, okay? See you tomorrow.